A 1987, Ron Paul was his gateway drug, as he called it, to the Libertarian Party. He attended the 1990 convention, ran for a land commissioner candidate in 1990 as well, state senate candidate in 1992, county judge candidate, and got almost 40% of the vote in a two-day race in 1994, 1998 county judge candidate, and his numbers and notoriety in Rockwell are going way up for that. 2004 Farmers Market in Rockwell, and called Crazy Rick in More Good Press. 2010, he was our agricultural commissioner and got almost 165,000 votes. In addition, we have Mr. Rocky Palmquist. Rocky is an 11th generation Texan and still farms the same land as his ancestor did in the 1800s. Rancher, farmer, nurseryman, Rocky has been an entrepreneur since the age of 14. Active in many local charities in his community, ranging from elder care, Lions Club, and mentored young men and women interested in Texas agriculture. Gentlemen, you both have 3 minutes for opening statements. I would ask Rick Donaldson to speak first.
Wow. All right. I'm going to stand up here if you don't mind.
It's a Libertarian convention. Do what you want.
Hey, guys, if you got them, light them. Let's see here. Like Ed said, you know, I've been in this a long time. I started out in 1987 with Ron Paul running for Libertarian candidate for the President of the United States. He didn't get it, but he was my gateway drug. I have been definitely going out there and speaking my mind and talking to people ever since. I enjoy everything that I do with the Libertarian parties. The little bit of back and forth that we get between candidates, between people in the party and the candidates and the candidates in the party, I think that's all great for growth. Although, you know, how much growth does the Libertarian Party want? I mean, we are actually the party of smaller government. How big do we want this party to be? I want the Libertarian people, the people of Texas, to be the ones that gain out of all this thing. I'm not against Rocky Palmquist. Rocky Palmquist is on my team. We're out there to castrate some elephants and some donkeys. I've got a lot of people that stop me on the road. Walt Disney was doing a great thing about promoting my candidacy. There's this guy over there on that TV show called Duck Dynasty. Anybody watch it? Well, he looks like me, you know? He does, he really does. And I get people stopping me in all kinds of different places, asking me, hey, are you that guy? Are you Cy? You know, no, he looks like me. I've had this beard since I was in high school. I mean, you can go back and look at the pictures, okay? I spent 4 years in Sam Steele Canoe Club. You know, I found out exactly what the Navy's doing. You know, all that garbage out there in the middle of the oceans, you know, the stuff that's causing that El Nino and La Nina stuff that's causing our weather to go crazy. Well, I was part of that for 4 years. And please, I submit my humblest apologies. I did not mean to do the negative things that I did to the planet or to the populations of all the earth. This is my redemption tour, if you will. I'm out there trying to correct all the things that I have done to participate in that garbage that I was involved in before. Liberty is my goal. Whether Rocky wins this nomination, whether I win this nomination, you know, liberty is what we need to be going after. Like I said, the Republicans and the Democrats, they've been doing this thing since the 1860s. Come on, people. If you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, you're going to get the same thing you've always gotten. I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your votes. Go out there and get 50 people to believe the same way you do and vote for your Libertarian slave. Thank you.
Mr. Palmquist.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Rocky Palmquist. I'm an 11th generation Texan. I still farm the same land that my ancestors farmed from the Spanish land grants. Texas is very near and dear to my heart. And there's nothing worse than seeing what's happening in our state of Texas right now. Our budget, we're broke. Don't let them lie to you. We're broke. Plain and simple. Let me explain to you what the Agriculture Department does. The Agriculture Department, it is the licensing agency for nurseries, for your farms. It controls the weights and measurements at your grocery store. It controls the gas pumps. There's a lot more to it than just farming. It's a bloated, giant bureaucracy. Okay? You've got a Republican Agriculture Commissioner now that seems to think it's okay for the feds to come down here and put cameras on private property on the Rio Grande border because, heaven forbid, we don't want those ants coming over here. Yeah! Let me tell you something. You shut the damn border down there and you get ready to pay $60 for a head of lettuce because that's what's going to happen to you. You keep letting these Republicans and Democrats tell you what to do, and we're all going down the drain. And if I am your agriculture commissioner, this crap is going to stop today. I need your support. Thank you.
Hi, Rocky.
You want to follow that up? I told y'all I get boisterous. That's why I leave this thing away a little bit.
We're going to kick it down a notch and ask you a question. What is your position with regard to genetically modified organisms, and what would you do with it at the state level?
Okay. A lot of this is being controlled by the FDA. Okay. I am not so much against GMO, but I can tell you I don't eat it. This is a personal decision between people. If you want to consume it, that's okay. If you don't, you're probably better off for it. The biggest problem with the GMO or the GM thing, it's the companies themselves, okay? You've got Monsanto. You've got Archer Daniels Midland. These people are on corporate welfare. Have you heard the Monsanto Protection Act that our president has signed? Okay? It's not about the food so much, it's about who's controlling your food. Do you want these people to control your food from the field to your plate? Because that's what's happening. The family farm is going by the wayside, and that's where you get your real food. The property taxes are going to wipe us out completely. And let me add this to you. If we would get off our butts, legalize hemp in the state of Texas, we wouldn't have this problem of taxes.
Mr. Donaldson, on GMOs.
Genetically modified organisms are a bane to our agricultural system. We now have the genetically modified fish that are going to be going on. We've got the salmon, what they call the Frankenfish. We all know these problems. The best way that we as Texans, as libertarians in the agriculture department can operate, what I intend to do is like what was originally intended by the Ag Commission back in 1907, was to address all of the safety issues, the quality issues of the foods, of the products that are going out there on the market. Make sure that we know exactly what is in these foods that we have. I'm not for making labels mandatory. What I'm going to emphasize as far as the libertarian is concerned is redirection of infrastructure. We have infrastructure right now in the department that can tell us exactly what chemicals, what insecticides, pesticides, fertilizers that we have that are being used on our crops. We also have the ability to tell the people by our what they call Go Texan program that Ag Commissioner Jim Hightower created back in the 70s?
70s, early
70s that Jim
80s.
Hightower was in there. Anyway, he created the Go Texan label. What this Go Texan label can do is we can identify exactly which products are GMO so that you guys can see it on the Texas Ag Commissioner's page so that you know exactly which chemicals are out there and causing you problems.
Thank you. Mr. Donaldson again. What are your thoughts about the situation in Nevada where the Federal Bureau of Land Management is preventing a rancher from using public lands owned by the state for grazing?
We currently have a problem or a situation up on the Red River between Texas and Oklahoma similar to that. The Bureau of Land Management is coming in and taking land away from farmers, saying that this land does not belong to you because of the way that the rivers all run. The Oklahoma border changes because of the way that the rivers are moving. So in the past, it's been wherever the grass is green on the south end of the border, that's where Texas begins. But the Bureau of Land Management comes in and they say that land does not belong to you because the rivers changed, and we're going to take that land away from the farmers there, and we're going to turn it into Bureau of Land Management land, and we're going to allow things to happen up there because that's our property now. It doesn't belong to the state of Texas. It doesn't belong to the state of Oklahoma. How did it become federal land? You know, I understand the Texas Constitution, the United States Constitution say land properly ceded from the state belongs to the federal government. I don't know that the Bureau of Land Management has the authority to cede Texas land to the Bureau of Land Management.
And Mr. Palmquist, and before you answer, it has been requested by folks at the back of the room that you do in fact use the microphone, at least pointed sort of toward you. It's a high ceiling, sir, and it's despite your excellent lungs.
I know you can hear me now.
There we go.
So on the Nevada ranch situation, federal land management.
There's more than 2.5 million acres in the state of Texas from the Bureau of Land Management. Okay? Let me just say this. What's going on in Nevada with the Bundy Ranch, that's the real deal, folks. That's Americans standing up for what their rights are. That's the bottom line. And while this does not fall under the purview of the Texas Agriculture Commissioner, I can guarantee you I would be up there. I'm an old country boy. Let me choose my words carefully here because there's ladies in the room. Children too.
And children too. But don't pour water down my back and tell me it's raining. I know better. And as your agriculture commissioner, here's plain and simple what I'm going to do. I am going to be the biggest thorn in the side of the United States government that they've ever seen in their entire damn life. I'm getting a red flag from Kurt here, so let me back off a little bit. Thank you very much. I'll let Rick get back to it.
Yep. Excellent. Another question first to Mr. Palmquist.
Yes, sir.
What are your thoughts about fracking and its potential impact on the environment?
Wow. I am not in the oil business. I'm in the farming business. Okay? So I'm not going to get up here and tell you I know anything about fracking. Obviously, with the amount of water that is used for fracking is going to give us a problem with the farms and ranches, okay? We've already got an issue with a drought right now. I've always been known to say it like it is, so here it comes. Frack away if it's your own property, okay?
You go affecting somebody else's property, your salt, your methane, your sulfur comes out of that well and it affects my property, you got big trouble. Okay? I think that's how it needs to be handled. I think that we need to take these big companies into account, make them pay for the damages. It's just like Monsanto and the rest of these government corporate giants. We don't serve them. The United States government doesn't serve them. They're supposed to be there for profit and not for abuse. I will stand with the farmers and the ranchers and the growers of Texas at every turn. There's no choice in the matter. Go ahead and frack, keep the oil prices low. Just don't infringe on somebody else. This is Texas and we believe in liberty and we won't do that.
Question to you, Mr. Donaldson, on fracking.
Would you please repeat the question?
What are your thoughts on fracking and its potential impact on the environment, and specifically agriculture?
My concern more in not just agriculture, but in everybody's everyday life. Fracking, as I understand it, has the implication of adding chemicals to the groundwater that are not conducive to any human, animal, or plant life. Let's go back to the most recent 2012 election and the campaign for increasing the amount of money that goes to the water and water development in the state of Texas. Did you guys know that in that water bill that just got passed by the majority of voters in the state of Texas, that it took money from our general fund to create new water districts, new water corporations to be able to develop new water? Do you realize that 2/3 of that water goes to corporate entities to develop more oil and gas extraction from the soil? 1/3 of it goes to the farmers in the cities. That 1/3 gets divided in, what is it, 60-40? The cities get 60%, the farmers get 40%, but the 2/3 of it goes to the oil and gas industry. We need to stop this kind of stuff. This is our water. This is our life. This is our lifeblood.
Can I have a rebuttal?
You may.
In the state of Texas, we have something called TCEQ, Texas Commission on Environmental Quality. So I want to make something clear here. The Texas Department of Agriculture has nothing to do with your water supply other than maybe the pesticides that some of the farms are putting out, and that's going to be controlled by the Agriculture Department. But as far as the environment goes, as far as the well water goes or anything like that, the Agriculture Department has absolutely nothing to do with that, okay? Thank you.
Question for Mr. Donaldson. The Agriculture Commission also regulates the free lunch program. What would you do with that?
Wow. Taking Texas money, Texas taxpayers' money that's going to the federal government, that's being returned to us to feed our children. What are we going to do? My position there is, let's figure out how to reconfigure the program. We've got all these children that are going hungry. Let's take that money and start a gardening program on each campus throughout the entire state of Texas. It's already our money. Let's put that to good use. Let's get gardens at every elementary, middle, junior, and high school throughout the state. Just the money that we're given, turn it into seeds, turn it into agricultural programs so these kids can learn how to survive if the economy does hit the fan like everybody keeps telling us we're going to have. You know, I'm for preparing for that SHTF day. And if it happens, what are you going to do? Do you know how to grow anything? Do you know how to raise anything that you can consume? Do you know how to help your neighbors? This is up to each and every individual in the state of Texas to be able to grow this stuff And it's up to us to learn how to do it and to protect this land and to make things grow properly, prosperously for every individual in the state.
Mr. Palmquist, on the lunch program that's regulated by the Ag Department.
Okay, not only are they going to regulate the lunch program, but get ready for breakfast and supper too. Okay? Michelle Obama wants to make sure that your children eat what she wants them to eat. But look, let's face it, a lot of these people that are on the free breakfast, free lunch, free supper, what do their parents get? They're already on the Lone Star card, folks. We're being taxed twice. You're paying for the parents' cigarettes and the beer, and then you're turning around and you're paying for the kids' lunch at school. Now, what's more important, that child to have lunch or those parents to have beer and cigarettes when they get home from whatever job they may or may not have? What we've got to do is tell the feds, you know what? Up yours. We're not going to do it. That's how you handle things. It's called leadership. You stand up and you tell them enough is enough. We're not going to take it anymore. This is Texas and we want our office back. You feds go back to Washington, D.C. and stop telling us how to run our business.
All right, well, we've come to the end, so 2 minutes. Closing statements for each of you. Mr. Palmquist, we'll start with you.
Thank you all very much. I look out in the room and it almost brings me to tears. Look at the liberty. Look at you here. We are here for a reason. We're sick and damn tired of people breathing down our throats every time we turn around. We have to have a car inspection. I have to have my flowers inspected by some fed that doesn't even know what a marigold is. Each and every one of us in this room, it's up to you to make something happen. And I guarantee you, as your agriculture commissioner in the state of Texas, there's not going to be a day that goes by that the feds don't worry, what the hell is Rocky going to do to us today? Thank you all. A big hand for the Libertarian Party of the state of Texas.
Mr. Donaldson, 2 minutes closed.
Well, I've got no pipe dreams, believing that I'm going to get this without you guys helping. But I do have a pipe dream. My pipe dream is that every one of you is going to go out of here and you're going to get 50 to 100 more people that are going to vote for Libertarian candidates just like you are. The only way that we can win is with you. I need your campaign contributions. I need your assistance. But I want your mouth, I want your feet, I want your hands, I want your fingertips. I want you to go out there and I want you to spread liberty throughout all of this land. I don't care if they're in Texas, I don't care if they're overseas, I don't care where these people are. I want you to spread liberty. Because everybody overseas, everybody that I've ever met in my worldly travels, I spent 4 years in the canoe club and everybody seems to know somebody from Texas. So everybody that you know, let them know that there's a couple of crazy guys up here that are willing to fight for you. This is all about you. This isn't about Rick Donaldson. I don't think this is about Rocky Palmquist. Right. I think this is about Texas. We can turn Texas gold in this election. We've got more people that are upset with the way the blue and the red has been turned in this place bloody. I don't like this. I think you need to be more in control of what you have, your property. You'll see some wanted posters up around here. You know what 5,000 gold coins is worth these days? Would you believe $6.4 million minimum? And that's all I'm asking. I'm asking you to put 5,000 gold coins worth of your effort. Your effort. I don't want your money. I want your effort out there promoting liberty. All we need is 5 million votes through our entire executive slate. I don't care who you vote for. We need you to work for 5 million votes for each and every one of our executive candidates, and that will filter down to the rest of our candidates. I thank you all for attending. I look forward to shaking every one of your hands. And onward to the far, people. This is us. This is liberty. Let's go.